Let's get to it. So Shakur Stevenson was on $1 million worth of game with Gilly the Kid and Wallow. Now they were talking about Terence Crawford once again, talking about his record once again, trying to discredit his record once again.
Real niggas don't talk, nigga, and you talking too much.
Shakur Stevenson was basically saying that, people are always trying to discredit Terence Crawford's record.
Go look up the history.
When he said it, Gilly the Kid was like, well, he ain't fought nobody. Shakur Stevenson defended it. And he was like, I disagree with that. Listen, we've already talked about this before, right? We've talked about the people that he's fought. I made a video about the people that he's fought. But before I get into what I'm about to say, let's check out the clip.
When it comes to Bud, I think a lot of people took credit away from a lot of his wins. Like, I feel like when they kept throwing it out there that he didn't fight nobody.
Well, he did.
I disagree with that.
Bro.
I disagree with that.
Why do people hope? Why do people say that?
That logic is terrible.
Look,
anybody
bro,
you get in the ring with is a chance you can lose.
He didn't fight nobody that was on that level. That's what we saying.
No,
Not he didn't fight.
That shit don't mean nothing.
You can get in a ring with a C+ fighter, and if he clip you good enough, you can go to sleep.
No.
So he fought somebody.
No.
But come on, bro.
I think he fought people.
Julius and Dongo.
We can't. You named the worst person on the resume.
Victor Postal.
That's a bad name.
That ain't a.
During that time.
In order to say.
I'm saying during that time when he fought him.
He was overhyped.
He was overhyped? What? He had
Victor Postal is like this.
What's that dude
you talk to a boxer.
Hard. Yeah, I'm a boxer.
Victor Postal is like this.
A lot of people couldn't deal with that. A lot of people can't deal with that style. A lot of people can't deal with that style.
Can't deal with that.
A lot of people can't deal with that boxing style. He's jumping up in the air. He's a boxer, know how to use his range and his distance. A lot of people can't deal with that style.
But okay, in order for me, this how I look at it. In order for me to say, you beat top tier, you got to say, okay, well, what did they do in the sport?
No, you can't, because let me tell you what the problem is. Now, this is where everything gets messed up. Hold up. This is where everything gets messed up. When after somebody fights Bud Crawford, fight is not the same. So you can't judge what they done after they fought Bud Crawford because he done messed them up.
Okay.
Mentally, physically.
Well, maybe you know more than me on that tip.
That's all I'm trying to tell you.
So that's a clip of Shakur Stevenson and Gilly the Kid and Wallow, and they all, going back and forth about who Terence Crawford has fought. And listen, I'm gonna tell you like this. They ain't never gonna get this dude his credit. So I don't even understand why people be trying. They just not gonna give him his credit. Now I understand what they trying to say when they say that he ain't fought nobody on the highest level. Right? He's fought good fighters, but he ain't fought people on the highest level. Where I think if the person got the belt, they are the highest level because they the one with the belt.
To this day.
What do you want him to do? Because if he don't fight the person with the belt, guess what? You're gonna try to say that he ducked that person.
To this day.
And like you guys just heard, Gilly the Kid basically basing it off what they've done. Well, if that's the case, if we're going off what they have done, then why are we talking about Boots?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Why do people mention Boots? He ain't done nothing then. So what's the big deal with him fighting Boots? If that's the standard that we're going by what have they done, then Boots is somebody that don't need to be mentioned either. Because he ain't gonna do nothing to help Terence Crawford's record, according to you guys.
You won the belt with nobody.
So therefore, we'll be saying, oh, he ain't fought nobody either, so therefore, he don't get no credit. Terence don't get no credit for fighting Boots, because Boots ain't done nothing either.
We gonna pray for these niggas. Have mercy, Jesus.
Because they ain't going by how good the fighter is. They can't be. They going by what the fighter has done. They ain't going by if the fighter was a pretty good fighter. If he was considered the monster at the time. If he was considered a problem at the time. They ain't going by that.
We gonna pray for these niggas. Have mercy, Jesus.
And then on top of that, how can Terence Crawford have a nice record and you got people not wanting to fight him like Keith Thurman? At the time, Keith Thurman was the highest level. He didn't want to fight him.
What's up, bud? What's good, son?
At the time, Danny Garcia was the highest level, but for some reason, he didn't want to fight him.
Look at you scared now, you hoe.
And then Shakur Stevenson was basically just saying, it's just that you guys haven't really seen how good the fighter could be because they just not the same after they fight Terence Crawford. Because for most of them, Terence Crawford was probably their first loss.
Come on, man, it's obvious.
Like Gamboa, his first loss was Terence Crawford. Victor Postal, his first loss was Terence Crawford. Julius Indigo, his first loss was Terence Crawford. Jeff Horn, his first loss was Terence Crawford. Jose Benavidez, his first loss, you guessed it, was Terence Crawford.
Which is fucking bullshit.
Kavaliauskas, his first loss was Terence Crawford. Yeah, that's the guy that you guys say that dropped Terence Crawford. And then, of course, we ain't counting Kell Brook, right? And we ain't counting Sean Porter, right? You know, they count Sean Porter and Kell Brook for Errol Spence, but they don't count them for Crawford. Well, Sean Porter was old. He was still old when he fought Errol Spence. So what? Okay, well, Kell Brook, he was broken though. Not as broken as it was before he fought Errol Spence. When he fought Terence Crawford, he was actually on a 3-fight winning streak. And I said this before in my old video. In one of my old videos, he was on a 3-fight winning streak. When he fought Errol Spence, he had just lost to Triple G. And he fought Spence months later. He had just lost. With Bud, he was on a 3-fight winning streak. So they're just not gonna give Bud any credit. They never gonna give him credit. They're always gonna try to discredit him. It's nothing new. But like I said once before, if we're going by that standard, what the fighter has done, then we shouldn't even be talking about him fighting Boots then. Because Boots wouldn't do nothing for his resume.